Hello everyone, my name is Nathan, and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included in the Ultimate Base 3.0. In the previous episode, we finally started colonizing Coldito here. As you can see, we're already at the stage where we are analyzing our first volcanoes. This one here is still dormant. Let me actually see, when does it wake up? In 11 cycles. So we would need to get that ready in 11 cycles. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, could become really hard because I have no liquids to produce liquid logs. If we check out the temperatures, we would need something that can go minus 70 or minus 80 degrees without actually freezing over. I believe we have such a thing right here in the ethanol. Ethanol can go to minus 114 degrees, so it's even better than oil in this regard. I already went ahead and in between the episodes I started the rocket here. Gosman is flying over to Crudil in order to gather up some ethanol. The question is, where do we bring that? The original intention of this mission was to bring more ethanol to Glowani because we apparently needed it already. Yeah, technically just 200 kilograms would be enough. Let me actually see. We just need to shoot once. 200 kilograms of ethanol. That sounds extremely easy if you ask me. What about nuclear waste? Vaporization point is really high, but the freeze point is already 26 degrees. Holy cow. So nuclear waste would be a good liquid log for hot planetoids. What about the radiation here? This is just 187 rats per cycle, but it would still be something. So technically we could set up a temporary launcher. Yeah, there we go. We got the Interplanetary Launcher that we can set up right here. And then all we need is a little bit of rats. We can take the rats from up here and then shoot twice. And then within a cycle or so, we should be able to send one load. Say we could, for instance, add 2 like so. That would make it a lot easier. And then just hook them up. Might set up some ladders to actually reach that spot. This also needs to be hooked up to power. And then we're golden. I also set up a bunch more liquid reservoirs here. As you can see, they are now all completely full of ethanol. And I just want to get rid of the ethanol. It's not really a thing that I want to keep on producing because in the end, it's the petroleum that we're gonna use. Also, with our new petroleum production, we should think about switching to petroleum engines, which I believe can produce higher rockets with less range. But I'm not 100% certain about that. For now, I would already be happy if all of this ethanol here at the bottom is gone. But there, if I can send over some ethanol to Coldito in order to set up the liquid logs, I'm already quite happy. As a matter of fact, we should initiate that. Like, the ethanol comes from here. So let's set up a bridge here. Disconnect these 2 guys. I want to extract the petroleum from here. Then we're gonna hop over from there. Then I'm gonna go up and bring the ethanol here. We just need to do this once or twice. I just need enough for that liquid log. If we have a look at Glowani, by the way, this is what happens when I leave it alone. Here, the hydrogen vent got dormant and then all the hydrogen was used up. So for some reason, we managed to get the steam below 100 degrees and now everything is submerged. This will change again as soon as the volcano comes out of dormancy, and then the hydrogen vent is also going to go for it all in about 10 cycles. But before that, we actually started to use up the ethanol completely. Now, I only have very little ethanol left here because the petroleum generators are now producing the bulk of the power. Anyways, we're gonna leave that here. Let's check the star map again. This is still gonna take 1.1 cycles. So back to Crudil we go. We are done with the launchers. We want to make sure they shoot in the right direction here, the rat bolt generators. And now this is producing 15 rats a cycle. Oh no, that is much worse than I anticipated. Yeah, I guess we're not quite capable of catching all the rats. So now I'm just wasting a little bit of power, but it's not really a waste because look at all the oil. This is pure power. Look at all the petroleum. We just cannot keep up right now, so it doesn't matter if we waste a little bit of power with this inefficient system. Later on, once we make the official launcher for this world, of course, that's gonna change. Now, I think I should also start building these tiles here upstairs because I want to have them before the rocket lands, which might be difficult now. Yeah, never mind. Liam is going to bed. Okay. So let's change that. We don't want to shoot to Vivani. We want to shoot something to Coldito. And the thing we want to send is ethanol, right? Is that working? Yeah, it's at least going in. So let's just send about 200 kilograms or so. Now we have 590 kilograms in there. Maybe I can shoot 3 loads in this case. And we connected this and disconnected that. So now we have exactly 600. Another something that I noticed is we are now using up our igneous rock on the main planetoid, and I noticed that because of my resupplying system, this here just kept on staying red, which was an indication that something isn't working, and yes indeed, we don't have fresh supplies of igneous rock now. And the reason for that is the stone hatchlings are eating it, and of course I never organized new igneous rock through the means of volcanoes. So what we should think about is an immediate solution by, for instance, picking up some of this igneous rock and cool it down, and then about a more permanent solution by tapping into this volcano and potentially also this one here on the top. I actually wanted to use this volcano here in order to set up another petroleum boiler. So this area right here is supposed to be another petroleum boiler. And I think whenever it doesn't need to produce the petroleum, we could use it to produce igneous rock. For now, as mentioned, I'm gonna need a more permanent solution, but now that nothing here is in a magma state, I believe we should be able to take apart these copper tiles, though copper is melting at 1080 degrees. At the moment, we are still above this, but we also have to think about how to cool this down. For instance, we might want to lead it through this room here. We can produce some extra power and cool down the items at the same time. And then we could, for instance, just drop them here in order to cool down completely. I don't really care about this liquid here, but I do care about having igneous rock. Some of these areas are already quite cold, like this one is only 390 degrees, but I think we can just leave it be as long as it is above the 200 degrees. Yeah, I think we should take care of that. So we're gonna dig our way down here in order to gain access to all of this igneous rock. Then I somehow need to make my way inside of here. I wonder, do I still have like petroleum or crude oil or anything else that I could use to make a more permanent liquid lock? This would then allow us to send the igneous rock through the contraption here. And I'm gonna do that very briefly. And then I guess right here we can check, have our liquid shut off, though this needs to be made out of steel. Don't forget about that. So this would be our sensor here. A conveyor rail thermo sensor goes there. Yeah, already hook it up with the wiring. If the temperature is too high still, we want to rejoin the railing here. That also means this needs to be like so. And then we simply use a conveyor bridge. So the items in the cycle already have priority. If the items are cooled down enough, we can bypass them. And then we bring them all the way up to this pool. Maybe let's go through here. Yeah, it probably doesn't matter. And then up. I'm gonna lead this through the tiles as much as possible, bring this up here, and then somewhere around there I want to drop the items. At this stage it doesn't really matter too much, and I guess we also enclose this, though this is carbon. Yeah, I need to be careful. I don't want my carbon dioxide to mix with the vacuum here, but for now, let's just set up another ladder to be able to build all of this, and that should be good. I just need to make sure that we are actually bringing something here. Camille seems to be doing just that. Okay, it doesn't look like we're bringing much more oil. I'm just trying to mop up bits and pieces of oil now. Oh, nice. I snatched up some pom-pom knit. Jeez, I've never seen that. I need to get it. I just need to have this one. There was actually another suit that I collected. I gave it to Devon, a snazzier green suit, and I think this one here is gonna go to Camille. Also a longtime member of the organization here. Man, sometimes I just don't get these duplicates on this planetoid. This has priority 9 and... never mind. Just forget what I said. Alrighty, looks like we're going to shoot our ethanol anytime now. I believe it was about time. What are we doing here on Coldito? How long do we have time? 8.2 cycles, and then we... Oh man, do we have enough steel even? I'm getting stressed now. Like, let's have a look at Gluani. What am I going to need? Just a conveyor loader, a conveyor shutoff, and a auto sweeper. So if we apply that logic here, I used up all my steel already. Man, this is so devastating. This is always going so quickly. Or maybe I didn't even bring too much steel with me here. Also looks like we are at the halfway mark in terms of oxygen. I will have to fly back before that actually runs out. So we might have to do this planetoid in 2 or even more trips. But for now, I would at least like to get this one here going. So let's collect everything. We will need to set up a pump, build the liquid lock as soon as I send over the ethanol. So that means a bottle emptier here, for instance, would do. Let's deconstruct that. We also need a way to extract the ethanol and bring it somewhere safe. Let's just add a little area here where we can do that. So for instance, we're just gonna drop it in this little pool here where we then can mop it up and collect it again. And not a conveyor chute, that would be a liquid vent. Nice. So now I just want to make sure here the launch goes right. We are at 46 wrap bolts here and 44 there. We're gonna need 50 wrap bolts to shoot 200 kilograms. I think I'm gonna let this run for another cycle and then we just shoot the ethanol. That's fine. In the meantime, we have loaded up the first cargo tank. The second one still needs to be filled up. Let's see, do we have the time for that on Glowani? This is where the ethanol should go. We still have 1,400 kilograms left. So that should be enough time to actually get by. We'll see. And looks like we need to wait another 7 cycles for the ethanol usage to go down. Also, I noticed these guys are always added. It's kind of crazy. I sometimes had to stop the flow of items. Right now we are cooling things down again, but I have to say, for some reason with the pipes, it doesn't work as quickly as with the liquid vent before. So this system seems to be less powerful, even though I'm using double the amount of aqua tuners. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe we just had an influx of items that we needed to cool down. That is also a possibility. Anyways, looks like we sent our first 200 kilograms. This is perfect. We might not even need more, to be quite frank with you. So maybe for now I'm gonna cut this off since we already shot everything. And then let's have a look at the star map. How long is this gonna take? Like 0.3 cycles. This will then arrive at Coldito, so I might want to first focus on building this, so then we can safely store the liquid and mop it up again. Good, we already took care of all the items inside of here. Let's also set up a gas pump. That's what we need next, and this just needs to exit, basically. I want to get the gases out of there. And of course, to make this work, we'll also be needing some power. I'm already gonna hook this up here, and then we're gonna bring this along there. Though later on inside, I probably don't want the heavy watt wire. Actually, that's a lie. We do want the heavy watt wire. Outside of the contraptions, there's nothing that I need to protect. On the other side, we would have a convenient space for a power converter here. Yeah, I'm undecided, to be honest. All I know is we need to send some steel from the main planetoid. That is now important, and right now I got it here. Actually, we can just use this launcher here, change that to Coldito as well. And now we already have some steel that we can send over. So for one contraption, I'm probably gonna need the 400 kilograms, if not more. So I'm gonna send at least 1,600 kilograms or so for the 4 contraptions that we need to build. Oh no, I'm actually using wolframite to build this cable. I don't want to do that. I guess we can have wolframite in the beginning and then we swap it to aluminium when I send over enough. Like we would have to do this here on the other side. I need even more aluminium. So now we're sending items like crazy to Coldito. But one cable, if I'm not mistaken, is already 100 kilograms. It's kind of crazy in that regard. But I guess here with the launchers, it's actually really easy to accomplish everything. Let's go back to Coldito and finalize that project. How much time do we have? 7 cycles. Okay. Yeah, Ellie, go to bed. No hurries. There is our ethanol. We need to mop that up immediately. And then, as mentioned, set up a bottle emptier here. And as long as I can get a drop to land on this place here, we will be able to achieve that vacuum. Looks like the steel is arriving here. Ellie, can you please put that into the payload opener? Thank you very much. And she's now mopping up the ethanol. Bottle emptier is in place and we give you some ethanol. Yeah, let's have that at the highest priority. And we really just need that single drop there. There it is. We can already stop it and we just have to mop up the bottom floor here and then we're golden. In the meantime, on Crudial, I would imagine we are done here. Do we have 9 tons? Yes, that means we can get this rocket started again. considering we still have 3000 wrap bolts in there, we can probably take the trip in one go. So we don't have to refuel here. We can just go directly to Gloani, deliver the ethanol, and then come back. So this is 6 tasks. Yeah, totally easy. We can do it. Crew is already set. It is gonna be Gossman. So let's begin that launch sequence and see him go away. There is my Gossman inside the rocket. Wonderful. You can unequip the suit before I forget it. And, well, have a good journey, I guess. Good luck. See you soon. Bye-bye. Ooh, looks like the lead is actually melting here. Yeah, it's because I built these loaders here out of iron and stuff. Yeah, we can be happy if this guy doesn't melt. But it's the first time I came here with the wrap bolt engine. Usually it was the steam engine, so that didn't really matter. Now look at this, we can finally clean this up. I'm so happy about this. All of these liquid reservoirs are empty, we can get rid of them. We can also get rid of the piping here for the most part. The ethanol will now be traveling straight up. Actually, let's do it here, get rid of everything else, and then it still can be pumped up, but it doesn't get stored here. This now also gives us the freedom to play around with the bottom part again. For instance, I would like to see my water supplies being a little more reasonable. One way we could do that is actually utilize the polluted water we have here at the bottom, and I would like to convert it to normal water so we can use it to produce oil again and the cycle would be completed. Now, looking at everything, we will not be able to easily cool things down, but what we can do is set up another row of machinery here, and we're gonna get things started with, let's see, refinement, a water sieve. In this room, everything needs to be made out of steel, just to be on the safe side, and that would mean I'm going in here with the polluted water and then coming out here with the normal water. We don't need this connection. Yes, that actually looks fine. We also hook this up to the power grid right away. And now all this water needs to do is join the liquid shutoff here. Let's say we're gonna be coming from this direction, going over. Now, yeah, I'm probably just gonna go straight into here. Meaning we want to see some bridges here, one going up, one going down. This would be disconnected and unloaded, and then we can connect everything together. Yeah, how about that? Let's go back to Coldito. This is now the most important thing, that we actually get this completed before the volcano comes out of dormancy. And this could become a little bit close. I hope after the dormancy it's still gonna take a couple of cycles before it actually erupts. There's the gas pump doing its job, so at least we have that going for us already. And by now I should also have some steel available. Wonderful. We're gonna put our auto sweeper right here. Wonderful. I think we already achieved a vacuum. That means we can get rid of the pump here and actually really get things started. Get rid of that as well. Also, let's have a look into automation. One thing we're gonna definitely require is a conveyor loader. Conveyor loader, I believe we had here. Let me check the design again on Gloani. Yeah, and then the rail sensor and the conveyor shutoff. We just need to do it the other way around. So conveyor shutoff would go here, and then the rail thermosensor, which we can build out of aluminium as well, goes there. Also some cabling, you can take that, and we then need to hook everything up to power. So we should prepare that. Now, this is not going to take a lot of power, right? It's just like 120 watts for the sweeper, and then maybe another 10 watts for this guy, 120 for that. We can just go with a normal converter. Say this power transformer here, we're gonna build it right there. We're gonna reroute the power cable to go along here. And then we can use a simple wire to hook everything up. Let's also do the steam turbine. We need some insulated piping here, and we're gonna go straight down here and release the water back into the contraption. And even though we don't really have the time for that, I would like to see a background with a simple material. Should we do aluminium? Would be interesting to do with aluminium here. It just takes 5 kilograms per tile, so it's not really that dramatic of a loss. But there we go, that's the contraption. Let's see if we can actually finish this within 5 cycles or so. Should be easily achievable. Okay, just in the nick of time, we actually ran out of ethanol, and now the entire system is struggling again. I did initiate that a little bit too late, but we'll have to figure that out once we actually do the automated version of those rockets. For now, the rocket should land any second now. Yeah, there we go. It just adapted, and there is my wonderful rocket. Wait! Hassan, what are you doing? Get out of there! Anyways, before it is too late, let's re-equip that atmosuit for Gossman again. Yeah, I think with that we should be good. We should already be pumping everything out. On which planetoid are we? Gloani, is it happening? There is the ethanol and it's gonna save us. So I just have to unload this, and also the hydrogen vent is gonna come online, so we're not gonna be using that up immediately again. It is gonna take a while until we used it up, but jeez, man, I cannot live without ethanol on this planetoid, that is for sure. Well, we could use the uranium. We should actually do that. But now with the ethanol being resupplied again, we should be good. We don't have to check on this planetoid. Well, once we are actually done unloading, but that is going to be another topic. On crew deal, we are currently mopping things up, alright. We still haven't taken things apart, and this guy here overheated for some reason. Well, it makes a little bit of sense. It's a liquid shutoff, but still, why is it emitting so much heat? Let's replace that shutoff with something that holds a little bit better, like iron. And now he's finally taking apart the liquid reservoirs. A new era has started. Let's go back to Gloani, check quickly if that is working alright again. Okay, now finally to Coldito. Before we wrap up this episode, I would like to see at least my current contraption finished. Let's see again. This guy here, how did I set this up? When we bypass this is when we want to send it another round. I also would like to do this with aluminium, so we'll have to send over some more. This is such a pity. It's 100 kilograms per rail, which is also way too much if you ask me, but we're just gonna send over some more aluminium to take care of that. As for the conveyor loader, we wanna pick up basically everything, but not allow manual use. And then as for the thermosensor, the bypass is going to be the wrong temperature. That means if we are below 200 degrees, that would be the right temperature, and it can continue to the next cooling stage. Now, how are we gonna fill this up with water would be the next question I ask. Oh, actually that's not a problem. We just leave a lot of ice in the room. And then as soon as the volcano erupts the first time, it's gonna melt the ice and convert it into steam as well. Anyways, let's do the railing. Now that I have the aluminium, I can do the entire rail without actually having all the aluminium. We then go in like so, and we would bypass that. This needs to be hooked. What's happening? Can't really get in there, and I guess this and this will have to be exchanged with a steel rail. I want to make sure that this rail here actually doesn't melt. So now we go all the way around. We would have to come back here and do the priorities, which could be interesting. Yeah, we probably have to go down first and then use the bridge to go up in order to set the priorities. I want the loop, as usual, to have the priority before the new items. And in the meantime, on Vivani, we're gonna send more and more aluminium over. Good, looks like we're slowly getting there. As mentioned, we wanna first go down, then use a conveyor bridge, which goes up again, and then I just have to connect this once I got... Oh, I have enough aluminium, like so. Now we got the priorities sorted out and everything, so all that is necessary is to lead the items outside, and I'm gonna do that right there. Before I do anything else, I would like to set up a temporary automatic dispenser here for the ice. However, what can be melted is this rail here and the next one in line as well. Yeah, technically we need to achieve that the ice is right here at the volcano. I guess one thing we can do, because we don't really lack the steel, right? We could just make the lower row here made out of steel, and then it shouldn't be an issue anymore. Now we have that automatic dispenser. I want to see some liquefiable ice in here. Let's actually do this at a high priority, so we already got it ready. Oh, whoops, the ice gets picked up again. This is not what I wanted to see. So we have to remove liquefiable again from this conveyor loader. Right now we have 4,500 kilograms. I want Ellie to bring some more, and maybe then some. She is just in a loop now. Let's bring her over, take some ice from here. Okay, now that feels like we got enough now, so I can take that out. We're also gonna remove the automatic dispenser. Now I have 1,000 kilograms here and 5.3 tons there. That should be enough to fill up the room with plenty of steam. We now have 2.1 cycles left. Is my rocket ready? Let me see. Glowani, did we empty that out? We emptied out the first cargo tank, and this is now filling up again. Very nice. Also over here, do we have this active again? Also in 2 cycles. Nice. So I'm guessing we want to finish this room here for today's episode, and then we can basically do the same thing over and over again for all the other volcanoes. I just want to make sure we also pick up the aluminium, though this will probably be done with the auto sweeper once we actually got the system installed. So let's maybe bring this over. You know what? I'm not yet 100% sure where I want this to drop, so I'm just gonna drop it here on the cold wolframite, and then this is gonna cool it down completely for my usage. Wait, technically we don't even need to pick that up again. We could just close off the room now, and then the auto sweeper will be taking care of the rest. We just need to make sure the ice remains in there. Wonderful, there it is. We are now extracting the items. This is perfect. All we have to do is close off the room and make sure the ethanol isn't landing inside the room. If we first build this top, shouldn't be an issue. Looks like the contraption is ready. Now, I just remembered something that you gave me as a tip that we could still implement. Namely a timer sensor. Let's go ahead, add that right there together with some cabling. The cabling goes straight into the... Oh, that's not convenient like this. Yeah, you know what? We need to set up the liquid vent over here. That makes more sense. Remove this guy and then have the sensor here so it can go to the auto sweeper. And what I want to prevent from happening is basically the auto sweeper collecting 20 kilograms of material. I want it to wait for a little bit longer and then collect the entirety. So there it goes with a cabling. Wonderful. And this would now be truly the last thing we actually have to build. And we utilized almost everything of the space. As for the timer sensor, we're gonna do a green duration of about 1 second and a red duration of about 30 seconds. And now, Ellie, you can finally close off this room. I'm gonna be so glad. And we were just in time. We still have a cycle left to go. Meaning at the beginning of the next episode, we should see this contraption working, and then we can apply the same principle to all the other volcanoes. Wait, no, are you... Oh, no! Why did this happen? It never happens like this. If you build a tile, the liquid gets pushed up. That just doesn't make sense. Okay, I'm gonna try this again with a different type of liquid lock, but geez, that was so unnecessary. You know, if I don't manage to actually keep the vacuum in here, I'm gonna scream internally. There it is. Now, deconstruct this and then deconstruct the bottom tile. Okay. Now we're gonna mop everything up except for this bit. We then need to collect all the ethanol and bring it back up. That's gonna be fine. And then we can close this off without any accidents. But okay, the next time I'm gonna build the liquid lock like this right away. Ellie, are you sleeping? Is this really necessary now? I mean, we are under... not really. Just a little bit under pressure. But yeah, looks like after the first contraption, I'm actually gonna resupply the rocket here. We're gonna make a quick tour back to the main planetoid before then taking care of all the other contraptions. Maybe actually we still have the time to do at least one, but we'll have to see. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna clean this up and then we're gonna close it off in anticipation for the next episode so we can see whether or not that is actually working. But with that out of the way, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Have a great time and see you in the next one. Bye bye.